Hello, Tatter Tammy here. I wanted to come on and show you all something, share something that I made. Um, I worked on yesterday for a little bit and then finished it up today. I had the privilege of listening to an interview and then watching a concert that includes a very talented, intentionally thoughtful journal maker and musician. Her name is Tahira Whittington, and her channel is Pure Word Creations, where she does flip throughs of her journals that she's made primarily for people of color. And her ensemble group is called Decomposed. So after watching their special performance that they did in Brazil, I was inspired to I wanted to make some greeting cards. And I've entitled them ChamberMade. Tahira plays chamber music, and it's just a play on words. I just really wanted to talk about how I made them and why. Some of the things that I used. I don't know. I like using what is considered humble materials, I guess. Like the paper from like a paper bag. I don't know why. I absolutely love using tar paper. I know I've said this before. I had this ribbon. I pulled the threads out to use for to use in the cards. You have to excuse me. I am not feeling my best today, but I wanted to get this video done, and I'm holding my phone, so I'm hoping that it won't become a problem. I also used some of the pieces from my scrap box from book spines, and you'll see where that comes into play. To color the paper and get the colors that I wanted, I've actually used, I've showed these before, where I got these for like 99 cents, a bunch of them. They are for shoe shining. And there's like a thicker, drier form of it. I was trying to see if there's a specific name for it. And then there's like the liquid. And so I mostly use the liquid. It's thinner. It spreads easier. And, there's colorant in there. I got this at one of my discount stores some time ago. I just bought all the ones they had on the rack because I knew that I would use them. Okay, let me move this. Okay. So here are my chambermaids, and in the interview that Tahira did, she spoke of being part of bands or orchestras, and she being the only person of color, the only black person at these major events, part of the orchestras, and how that made her feel at the time, and how over the years, things have changed in some areas, and you know, how she feels about that. You know, we learn, I know that in my creative journey, whether it be sewing or art or whatever, it is important to learn the rules, to learn the basics, you know, the steps to get to where the technical stuff, right? But also sometimes strict rules and standard protocols don't allow for diversity or playful experimentation or an environment of relaxed encouragement of individuality. So, yeah, so, you know, it's nice sometimes when you can get to a place where everyone is allowed to come to the table and play, and everybody can learn from one another, and, you know, all the ideas can come together to create something amazing. So anyway, when I watched the video of their performance in Brazil, I was struck just by the fact that I saw them, like each individual. I saw, you know, just the way they performed, and I didn't like see their bodies. They all had on black, and it was interesting to me. I really, like, I saw their hair, I saw their movements, and it was just so nice. And I was inspired. Like, I just wanted to go and create my version of what I saw, of how I interpreted that performance. And so I'm sorry I don't know the other performers' names. That should have been something important for me to to include. But when Tahira watches this, maybe she'll put the information in the comments for us. So the first performer that I noticed was she had braids in her hair, and she, to me, when she played, I felt like she was in control of the instrument. Like, she was the boss, and she made that instrument do what she dictated for it to do. And when she was playing in those moments, she would close her eyes, and there would be a smile. So, you know, most artists, when they're playing, they are in a zone. And you can feel it when they are really into it, especially when they are allowed to just be themselves. And so the hair came from here, and I pulled the strands from here, the black and the tan, and then I made braids. I braided it and added it to the card. Her instrument is actually pieces of thin bark that I pulled from a tree recently, and I used pins for the details, and I also used this very, very thin string that I had pulled from an old antique book that the signatures were sewn in, and I was able to save some of that thread from those books. And the faces and the hands are from the brown paper bag material. I darkened it with the shoe polish. And the bows were created from some of this spine material, depending on which card it was or which instrument it was, and the detail that I wanted to get out of it. So I'll go in closer so you can see. After I made these cards, I printed them on my printer, and I think they came out pretty good for a home printer. And the difference with this one and the other ones is that the hair on this one came out better. The other ones, the hair did not come out because their hair is black. So I may have to go in like with a highlighter pen of some type to be able to go in and put in the details of the hair on this card. Now, this musician, she, to me, seemed a little more, let's see, how do I put it? She just kind of lightly leaned on her instrument, and the instrument seemed bigger than she was to me, and almost like she allowed the instrument to do what it does, and she just flowed with the notes that she knew she wanted to perform in unison with her fellow musicians. Interestingly enough, although she did not seem to be have a strong personality as far as what I could see, she was vigorous, and she actually broke a couple of her strings. And so I found that to be really interesting. When she, I noticed she did not close her eyes as much as the other artists, almost like she was following by watching the others. And so it's just interesting to me, the different styles. And you'll see here more too that the book spine for the strings on the bow and that. Just because to me, as she was playing, those things were more noticeable to me. Okay. And her hair was curly and bouncy. I wasn't sure how to do that, but again, I used the black threads in the cloth. And then there's Tahira, and Tahira plays the cello, and Tahira is all in. You know, they are all of them were all in, but to me, it's almost like when Tahira plays, the music runs through her whole soul. And she plays with vigor and control, and yet also seems to allow for spontaneity, or she is also aware of everyone else around her and shows appreciation for what others are doing. And she has a more serious look. They all, you could tell, enjoy what they're doing and enjoy the music, but that is always expressed differently from musician to musician. And again, the hair is not showing here, so I might outline that for the cards. So I'll have to see how I can do that. And then, you know, if these were to be used as tags and journals or cards, they can be altered. You can add words. There's plenty of space, especially on these, where sentiments or words can be added to the actual picture, or inside the card or on the back of the card, depending on what it will be made into. So I think that was all. I just wanted to share that. And I love the hair. I don't know if you could really see it with the black yarn pieces. She wears her natural fro, and so I just wanted to share that. I hope you guys enjoyed that, or got something out of it, or got some ideas of your own. And hopefully I will come back in the next couple of days. I have the final showing of my rust and coffee dyed papers. They came out amazing, so I can't wait to show you guys that. But that is all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.